What's up, nerds? So I watched House of the Dragon last night, and then I was going to do my review last night, but I was tired as shit. But anyways, okay, so I want to just say this is the penultimate episode of this season, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really, really good. I thought the writing was really strong. That's what gets me about you guys who say that this show is like, it's like a slow burn or it's boring. And I'm like, but the writing is so good. Like, I don't understand why everybody's like, so like ready to love bad writing, and then when it's good writing they're just like, oh, it's boring, and I'm all like, what are you guys talking about? You guys are crazy. So this show is top notch in my opinion. Like, it's so good. I'm so excited for the next episode. I'm gonna be bummed when it's gone because I'm just like, now I gotta deal with crappy writing on shows. Anyways, so we didn't get like any fight sequences in terms of dragons, but we did get dragons galore this episode. And I am excited for the next episode, but I just want to say I don't think there's going to be the Battle of the Gullet like I thought it was. I mean, I'm hoping there is the Battle of the Gullet so we get a good, action sequence, but a small piece of me thinks that's not what's going to happen. And maybe that'll happen next season, like right off the bat. Because if it doesn't happen next season right off the bat, I'm going to be like, you guys, come on, man. You guys pull it together, because there are these big battles, in the book, and you guys need to start showcasing those. You know what I'm saying? So, in this episode, we just got the dragon riders and everything. And the reason I think that the Gullet, the Battle of the Gullet, is not going to happen is because the showrunner said that this episode and episode 4 were the big CGI set pieces for this season. And so I'm kind of bummed that if we don't get that battle, but at the same time, it's like, okay, fine. But like I said before, if they showcase that like right off the bat, like in episode 1 or 2 next season, then that'll be good. Okay. So I'm going to break this episode down, give you my thoughts and everything, and then I'll give you my whole like review and spiel at the end of this. All right, let's do this thing. Okay, so Rhaenyra confronts Adam on this beach and everything, and he pledges his fealty to her as a dragon rider. So Rhaenyra, she shows up on the beach, right? And Adam's there and everything, and she's like, yo, motherfucker, you stole my dragon. He's all like, yo, bitch, I didn't steal your dragon. He came to me. And she's all like, what? And he's like, yeah, this dragon picked me, bitch. And she's all like, and he like bends the knee real quick, and she's like, you bend the knee. And he's all like, I'm your servant or whatever. And she's all like, all right. And everything. And she's all like, who's your lineage or whatever. And the thing I like about it, and I'll talk about it both, is Adam and his brother both do not name Lord Coralus as their father. And which I'm all like, that's good. They're playing the Game of Thrones. You know what I'm saying? They're like, you guys are thinking, right? But everybody knows, you know what I'm saying? Like, do they know? They know. Trust me, nobody's going to know. Trust me, they know. So dismayed and totally like bummed out that she had been removed from the small council, Allison seeks refuge in the Kingswood to avoid the court and just, like chill out and everything. Okay, so Allison, she's embarrassed and a little pissed off, but she's out to find herself, right? I didn't necessarily like her. First off, she's out there camping, like, she's roughing it, you know what I'm saying? Like, she is out in some makeshift tents, and I was like, ooh, honey, good for you. I'm not about that life. I'm more like, in like a camper or like, a really nice cottage. I'm not about that tent life. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's early mornings. But I got lady. Did anybody, or is it just me, or did you also get Lady of the Lake vibes when she gets in the water in that like pond or whatever, and she's got the white dress? And I also thought she was going to off herself. I was like, oh, but I knew she wasn't going to. So I was like, I don't know why I thought that. But I was like, but this show changes some things sometimes. So I'm all like, I don't know. If they have her off herself, that's just weird. But she decides she doesn't know if she wants to go back to court. And then at the end, she finally does decide, let's do this thing. Larys pushes Grandmaster Orwell to accelerate Aegon's recovery because, he's all injured and stuff, despite it causing him extreme pain. So Larys, right? He's all like, listen, he's talking to Aegon, right? And he's like, Aegon, you need to get your shit together. I don't care if it hurts, buddy. You need to walk because your brother's a psycho and you're my only you're my only hope, Aegon. You're my only hope. Like he's talking to R2D2 and everything. And I'm all like, yeah, because Aegon needs to get back on that throne so he can become like Hand of the King or a part of the council and really have like all this stuff. One thing I also want to say real quick is that one council member, I don't remember his name, he comes to Lord Larys, right? And he's all like, yo, I heard a rumor that Sea Smoke has a dragon rider now. And Larys was all like, well, who did you hear this from? And he's like, I heard it from a guy who heard it from a guy who heard it from a guy and everything. And Larys is like, I don't think we should tell what's his face. And let's just keep that whisper like down low. And I don't know about you, but I would want to know, even if it's not true, I would want to hear the rumor. Like, what? He's got a writer? Like, where'd you hear this from? And then when they told me, I'd be like, somebody find out. I need to know now, like pronto. Daddy needs to know. So I thought that was a little bit, not so smart on both those two's part. Meanwhile, departing Castle Aand with the young Targaryens, Rhaenyra leaves to find the dragon that's killing the sheep. Okay, so Lady Arryn, real quick, she is giving off total cunt vibes. Like, she's all like, get the fuck out my house, bitch, and everything. And then Reena, she's like waiting for her to leave into the Bloodgate or whatnot. And she's all like, I'm going to go find this dragon. And she does, you guys. And I told you last episode that she finds the dragon and its name is Morning. And she ends up becoming the dragon rider for Morning. So she does get her dragon. She finds her dragon. I don't think she's going to find it this season. And if she does, it'll be at the very end, like a small little snippet, like we got here. Like we got the smallest of snippets. And they are headed to get on a boat to go to Pentos, and which is fine, but spoilers, they're not going to make it. You know what I'm saying? Which is a bummer. Aria tells Rhaenyra to search for Targaryen Dragon Seeds in King's Landing's brothels. So Aria, she is talking to Rhaenyra, and she's like, what's his face? Darklyn didn't work out as far as a dragon rider, and she's all like, what would you have me do? We've got a bastard kid here, and he can ride a dragon. And she's like, you need to go and find some more bastards. Like, your people have been fucking bitches since, like, the dawn of time and just leaving their kids, all over the place, which we'll talk about that in a little bit when it comes to Rhaenyra. And she's like, you need to go. And they call them Dragon Seeds. And I'm all like, Dragon Seeds. Yeah, don't disrespect my seed. You know what I'm saying? I disrespect your seed. So I did like, and so she's like, I did like that. She's like, you need to go to these bastards because they might be able to if this guy can get it, you might be able to get somebody else. And the bastards are easily seen, throughout King's Landing because they have the white blonde hair. Although there was that one woman who had just plain old blonde hair. And I was like, what are you, a Lannister? Get the hell out of here. You're not going to get picked by a dragon. You're going to get toasted up like a marshmallow. But yeah, I did like that. But at the same time, it gets brought up later and we'll talk about it later. But that might be a problem. Now, the Lord Paramount Oscar Tully, who looks like he's like 4, gives Damon allegiance and spurred by the Riverland's descent, right? And so Oscar denounces Damon's like total wrongdoings and nefarious behavior, behind the scenes, and demands that he mend everything by seeking justice. And Daemon then executes Lord Blackwood for slaughtering the Brackens. And then Daemon sees Viserys rotting an ugly ghost corpse and everything after this whole situation. And Viserys asks him if he really wants the burden of the crown. Okay, so Daemon, right? So the first thing I want to say about Daemon is, and I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel like the hallucinations and the ghost whispering or whatever, it has lost its fun for me. It has overstayed its welcome, in my opinion. I do not like it anymore. I'm tired of seeing these dead people and him going crazy in Harrenhal or whatever. This is not in the book, and I just don't like it. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't care. I mean, like when I see it, I'm all like, okay, so he's talking to dead people again. But First thing first. So this little Oscar Tully kid, right, who is just like such a baby. Like when he's talking, I'm all like, who's this fucking 12-year-old? I'm all like, and they say like he's 16. I think the actor is 18, but he looks 12 to me. And I'm all like, why are we listening? And they do bring it up. That one guy was all like, I have sons that are older than you and I'm supposed to listen. You're my boss and everything. But he does say, listen, there's one thing about us river folk is we do honor our oaths and everything. But he's all like, but you set the Blackwoods on the Brackens and they did terrible things. You set them on the Riverlands and they did terrible things that you shouldn't have agreed to. And Daemon, again, he didn't tell him to do all these things. They went above and beyond what he wanted and he didn't reel them in. So he's all like, yes, we do honor oaths, but justice needs to be done. So you need to kill Lord Blackwood. He needs to die. And Daemon does it. Daemon's stuck in between a rock and a hard place. And Lord Blackwood, he looks up and he's like, but I've been faithful. And Daemon's all like, sorry, like, my bad. Like, maybe you shouldn't have killed, all the innocent people, I got it. You didn't like the Brackens and maybe you should have just gone for them. But to kill their like small folk is like, no go, buddy. But he just lobs his head off. And I'm all like, well, you got to do what you got to do. Right. So he gets the River Lords on his side, right? So they've got an army now and everything. And then I liked when he went and saw Viserys' ghost, right? Even though it's all gross and gnarly. He's all like, and he asks him, do you really want this crown still? And Daemon looks at the crown. He doesn't give an answer, but he just looks at the crown. And I was all like, that's very interesting. Like, does he really still want it? Because Viserys took the crown even though he didn't want it. And he says it in here. He's like, he took the crown even though he didn't want it. But, he took it and he was a good king. Peace all throughout his reign and everything. So I am interested to see, where they go next episode. I mean, I know where they go overall, but I should reread the book and everything. But we'll see how this all turns out in the end. So Jace challenges Rhaenyra, right, arguing that the bastard dragon riders could diminish the Targaryens and threaten his succession to the throne, especially given his dark hair inherited from Harwin Strong. So I loved this scene also when Jace comes in and he's all like, you're getting bastards to come here and ride these dragons. And then he brings up, he's like, you did what happened to me is what you're doing here. This challenge is that if you bring these people in, anybody can challenge my right to the throne. Just because I'm your kid doesn't mean anything. I have black hair like Lord Strong and I'm a bastard. So now you're saying anybody can take my throne. There's no hierarchy to the whole thing. And I thought that his argument was very strong, and because, before it was the Targaryens were the one that took on the throne because they could dragon ride. They're the ones that could take on dragons. So if you were, a Targaryen, you could get a dragon. Now it's like anybody can be a dragon rider. Not really, but you know what I mean. And so I'm just like, Jace, who, I don't know if he's going to make it through this season. If they have the Battle of the Gullet, not so much, but we'll see where this goes from here. But Jace brought up a very, very good point. And I think that, I see where Rhaenyra is coming from. She needs to win the war. She needs dragon riders for that. But, this right here, Jace is like, he's making a strong point, Rhaenyra and Coralus have Alinda gather and bring all the Targaryen bastards they can get to Dragonstone. Rhaenyra, she gets Coralus to get, some fishing ships that are trustworthy, right? To go through, and they tell their little servant girl to go through Dragonstone or to King's Landing and get all the bastards that she can find. And they're like, hey, you want to ride a dragon? Here's your chance, to step up, And they all Ulf goes because Ulf this whole time has just been bragging like, I'm a Targaryen. Hey sis, can't come to King's Landing with you, but you know who I am and everything. And Hugh the Hammer, they both go along with all these other people like bartenders and stuff, and that guy with like the lazy eye who was all like and everything, Quasimodo, whatever it is. And they all go to Dragonstone, and they're just coming in, like lambs to the slaughter, and to Dragonstone to see if they can ride Vermithor or Silverwings. Vermithor then burns so many of these Dragon Rider contenders, right? Like he is just toasting these people up and everything until Hugh, the Hammer, he claims him. Meanwhile, Ulf mounts Silverwing, right? And then flies her over King's Landing, bringing out Aemond and Vhagar in pursuit. Okay, so when they go in there, right, and she gives her big speech, right? She gives this big speech about ascending, right? And it was a good speech. I liked it a lot. I liked how she, told her guards to step back and she walked among them. And I was like, this is good. This is, how a queen should act when it comes to this stuff, because these are technically your kinfolk. And she's all like, listen, here's your chance. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. But we need help, and we've our people have forgotten about you. And so she brings them all into the pit. Vermithor comes out, very cool. I loved Darcy's look when she touches Vermithor on the nose, and he takes in her scent, her magic blood scent, and then she gives him that like smirk. She's just like, and everything, like, yeah, bitch, serve, and everything. And then she's all like, she turns to them and she's like, who will be the first? And that guy steps up, which kudos to that guy for stepping up. Cause I'm like, yeah, I would have been like everybody else, been like, can I just like stay back here real quick and just see if, maybe if he could just like sniff around a little bit, and he gets, a whiff of me, and he's like, I want to ride you. But Vermithor just starts burning the shit out of everybody. He's all like, no, and everything. And they're all running around the little pit. Ulf, he runs off into the depths of the situation, which I'm all like, Olaf, calm down, dude. You're just like running into, the pit of despair. But Hugh, the Hammer, he's hiding behind a rock, right, with this lady, and they're running out and everything, and Vermithor like snaps or whatnot, and the Vermithor is about to kill this woman. He's like, hey, and it's then he realizes, because his daughter is dead, which I was like, that's sad. I forgot. If that was in the book, I forgot about it. And he's all like, this is my chance. My wife can be a lady, and I can be a lord and everything. And he's like, what have I got to lose? And then he's like, well, he's just like, he's accepted his fate. He's like, I had a crappy life. I am not going to have a shitty death. I am going to have a death worthy of me. And he's like, go, get on with it then, and everything. I don't remember if that's what he yelled out or whatnot. And Vermithor, I think that's what Vermithor needed. He needed him to sacrifice himself to save someone else. He needed that sacrifice and that bravery. And then he needed him to be strong. Like, hey, this is all I got. Whatever, do your worst, fucker. And then Vermithor, he bows, and he's all like, all right, you're my rider, fucker, and everything. And I thought that was great. Now, Olaf, his was a little different. He steps in some shit, literally and figuratively, and he just runs into Silverwing, right? And Silverwing's all like, oh, look, a snack and everything. And then he falls down. He's just closes his eyes. He's like, please let it be quick and everything. And then Silverwing's all like, I like you. Let's hang out for a second. And I thought that was super fun. So yeah. And so then Olaf, right? He gets on Silverwings. He's all like, we're going to go for a joyride. Let's do this, Silverwings. And he totally goes to King's Land. He's like, and I think he did that mostly to just show his friends at the bar, which I'm all like, dude, they did not see you, right? And he's like, hey guys, I told you I was a fucking Targaryen, motherfuckers, like suck on it and everything. And so he's just having a hey-o time over, King's Landing. And so, and I loved how at the council, Aemond is all like, they're all like, it's a dragon. And the two dudes, Larys and that other guy, look at each other, and he's like, he's all like, I told you there was a fucking writer. And he's like, shut your fucking mouth. Don't say anything. And so Aemond, like the impulsive asshole that he is, although great, I'll say this again, there's an action figure coming out of Aemond. I might have to buy it because it looks pretty sweet. But he gets on, he rides to Vhagar, who's just sitting in a field chilling out. And he rides him and he gets on him, right? And he goes after him. As Aemond nears Dragonstone, right, he quickly retreats upon seeing Rhaenyra standing with Syrax, Vermithor, and Silverwing behind her. So Aemond is flying towards Dragonstone, right? And I don't understand how he could see all three dragons because they were like so far away. Like that island was like this big on the screen. And I'm all like, I mean, maybe you could see him from that far up, but he sees all three. He sees Syrax, Vermithor, and Silverwings. And he's all like, ah, shit. And he's all like, turn around, Vhagar. And Vhagar, that crazy bitch, was all like, what? I don't want to turn around, motherfucker. And he's all like, turn around now. He's like, they got Vermithor now. You're bigger, but because you got a fat ass, which who doesn't like a big ass, you know what I'm saying? But there's three of them, okay? I can only take on the two, the small one and the very big one or whatnot. So he turns around because he realizes, he's like, ah, shit. And that's where the episode ends, right? And I really liked it because the writing was really good. People brought up these good points because after this war, the throne is just in chaos because there's no more. The dragons are gone. Spoiler alert. But if you watch Game of Thrones, you knew this already. But the dragons are gone at this point in time. So all they have is, their Targaryen name. And that's what makes them, ascend keep getting to sit on the throne. And it's bad luck for them, but I just really liked it a lot. I can't wait to see next episodes. They really should end with the Battle of the Gullet, but I don't think they're going to. And if they do, it's not going to be as good as it could be. But we'll see where it turns out, yo. We're going to see a lot more deaths because not all these dragon riders make it out. And it'll just be fun to see, everything that goes down. But yeah. All right, well, tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Where did you sit? Where do you think it's set on, like, in terms of these episodes for the season? I thought this was a strong episode in terms of writing. I really liked it a lot. And, who's your favorite character? Who's your favorite dragon? Mine's Caraxes. It always has been. But I'll tell you right now, that Vermithor, he's pretty cool too. But Syrax, I think, is the prettiest dragon. But tell me what you guys thought. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, and I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next House of the Dragon breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. Bye.